these charges are unprecedented. They are unique. It sets a precedent. I think in 244 years, we have not had a local prosecutor go after a former president of the United States or his employees or his company. And that is a significant line to cross. And quite frankly, not just as a lawyer, but as a citizen, we're very concerned about that.
Yeah, Donald Trump and his lawyers should be very concerned, especially after the Trump Organization and its CFO, Chief Financial Officer Allen Weisselberg, were charged in what prosecutors call a sweeping 15-year scheme to avoid paying taxes to Uncle Sam. But Trump did get an assist from the Supreme Court in his bogus attacks on our voting system. The court, in a 6-3 decision, upheld the restrictive voting laws in Arizona, which could make it harder to challenge laws like this in the future. Joining me now to help break all of this legalese down is justice correspondent for The Nation and my friend, my pal, Elie Mystal. Elie, look, we could get into the minutia of this Trump-Weisselberg scandal, but again, I think the question everybody wants to know is, will Trump ever face any consequences for all of his many things that he's accused of or things that we saw him do with our own eyes and ears?
The same is true now as was true of Trump during the Russia investigation, during every investigation we've had of him since he came down the escalator. As long as he finds people who are willing to go to jail for him, he will walk away. That's how it's always worked for mob bosses. That's how it's working for Trump right now. He keeps finding these weak sycophants who are willing to put themselves in prison to support that man. And that's where Weisselberg is right now. Weisselberg will go to jail, or he will tell the truth about Trump. Those will be his two options. And so far, that man, I just saw that man let himself be perped walk in handcuffs so as not to have to tell the truth about his boss. I don't know where you get that kind of loyalty, but that's what Trump gets.
He's 73. Like, I just can't picture this guy going to jail. But the indictment did say that other unnamed Trump Organization executives were given smaller benefits. So these people might be in the crosshairs. What might they know and offer up to prosecutors for lesser sentencing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably just going to be more information about Weisselberg. As I understand that organization, it's very pyramid-shaped, which means all information gets funneled to the top, and it's Weisselberg's names on all the checks and Weisselberg's names on all the receipts. So it's all bad for Weisselberg. Like, it's very, very bad for Weisselberg. But if he doesn't tell, and look, I don't think there's anybody who believes that Weisselberg could have gone to the bathroom without getting a hall pass from Donald Trump. But as long as Weisselberg says, like, no, I did this all on my own, then Trump's going to walk and Weisselberg's going to be in jail. Again, I don't see where the loyalty comes from. We know with Trump, the loyalty is only a one-way street. Weisselberg could also probably have information about the kids. Don Jr. springs to mind in terms of what their implications were, but Weisselberg isn't talking about them either. I mean, look, I can't get my dog to not eat my sock, and Trump gets his dogs to go to jail. Like, it's...
Well, you have a new puppy, so that's going to be hard to do. But yeah, I think you're right. And we keep saying the loyalty that they have to him. It could be that Trump has things on them. We really don't know. I want to switch gears and talk about voting rights because we talked about this before. I'm concerned that the courts will not be able to save voting rights, given what happened in the Supreme Court this week with them gutting Section 2. I mean, just where do we go from here? Because this was a devastating blow.
There's a critical line in Alito's decision supporting apartheid, which is what that decision is. There's a critical line. He basically says that as long as the restriction is a mere inconvenience that is racially disparate, that means that if you are inconveniencing black voters and brown voters on purpose, as long as the court can call it a mere inconvenience, then that restriction is going to be upheld, and you can ram an entire system of political apartheid through that exception. And that is what the courts are going to do. So when, I saw you had Representative Gallego on earlier, I'm always following Mondaire Jones on Twitter. He lives, one district north of me. These people are putting forward great laws, but these are laws that can be overturned by the Supreme Court under their new mere inconvenience standard. If you don't expand the court if you don't, not just the Supreme Court, but the lower courts too, which are in desperate need of expansion just on straight reform reasons. If you don't expand the court, you cannot win this fight. Because there's no law that you can pass that the court cannot overturn. There's no constitutional amendment that you can pass that the court cannot overlook. And we can prove that by the fact that they've overlooked the 15th Amendment in this case, and they overlooked the 24th Amendment, which is against the poll tax, and a previous case last year about Florida felons who were supposed to be reenfranchised. So if you don't have the courts, you don't have anything.
Yeah, and we didn't get any retirement news this week from Justice Breyer.
No, we didn't.
So we'll see how expanding the courts go and if Joe Biden will get a Supreme Court pick. Thank you so much, Elie Mystal.